I just need to know. I just have questions. I would like to know. Okay? I mean,
Are you calling Jimmy John's?
no, honey. I'm calling
Can I
Jeff
have an
Johns.
Italian?
No,
With mayo?
no, that's not how this is. Just hold on.
Are you calling Jeff Johns?
Yeah, yes. Okay, hold on. Shh. Hi. Yeah, this is Sophia with Kamikaze Kiwi. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get a hold of Jeff Johns. Oh, well, you see, he's one of my 21 subscribers on YouTube, so like we're real close.
He makes real good sandwiches.
Not the same person, sweetie. No, yeah, No, I just saw the movie, yeah, and I wanted to chat with him about it since, we're buddies.
I got questions too.
I'll let you ask your questions too.
All right.
Awesome, thank you. I greatly appreciate you transferring me over. I got to talk to his secretary, so hopefully we'll get where we need to be.
Okay. Is it John Johns?
No, sweetie.
From Mars?
No, he's not from Mars. I mean, he might be. He doesn't quite understand what love is. Hey! Yeah, no, this is Sophia. Yeah, I know. I just got done seeing it. You know, Wonder Woman's one of my faves. Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of had a question though. I was wondering about the last 7 minutes of the movie. Was that purposeful? Hey guys, it's Sophia with Kamikaze Kiwi, and with me as always is Ninja and Booth Babe Tony.
Hi.
So as you can tell, we're doing this a little differently. Tony and I aren't in the same place right now. We're not even in the same state at the moment, but we both went and watched Wonder Woman, and now we're here doing this incredibly crappy, sort of fast review of Wonder Woman and kind of what we thought. So I guess, now's the time as ever. I wish that there was a lasso of truth that I could put over us so that we would get this done as honestly as possible. But we are going to probably cut this movie a little bit of slack just because Wonder Woman's my favorite, so I'll be easy on it. Yeah, DC's had a bad run, so you know what? Let's show them some love. Love is...
Yeah, when you have trash to go up against, everything looks nice.
Love is really important, right? Love?
Stop. No. Stop it. Don't.
So we are going from here. Oh, enjoy the mess that this will be, guys. Just enjoy it. Pros. I'm gonna start off. I love the secretary references. So in the original Justice League, for some reason Hawkman's the leader, which makes no sense because Superman, okay, you know what, stop. Hawkeye's the leader, and for some reason he decides that Wonder Woman needs to be oh shoot. Hawkman is the leader, and he decides that he's gonna delegate jobs and that Wonder Woman's job is going to be the secretary. And she just sits behind the desk and is totally chill with it. And so if you'll notice, a lot of the animated movies and just about every kind of major film thing that Wonder Woman has been in since, or is Wonder Woman centric, makes a reference somewhere to secretaries in some way, shape, or form. And I actually think that's pretty funny. And it's, to me, even better whenever we meet his actual secretary. It's kind of hilarious to me.
You mean Steve Trevor's secretary, right?
Yeah. What did I
Cool.
say?
I think, the casting was excellent in this movie. I was not super certain about Gal Gadot from the BVS, but she really hit it out of the park in the Wonder Woman movie. And Chris Pine is excellent, and they really work quite well together. And there's a lot of really cool scenes where they have kind of some great banter and some back and forth, which is really, really enjoyable. I also liked their little ragtag team of peeps. And again, the secretary, for Steve Trevor was also very, very fun.
Definitely the casting was really well done. The other thing that I think was so great, and probably one of the reasons why the casting looked so well, they did an amazing job with the costume design. And that was something, even whenever the trailer came out, that I was fairly impressed with. I'm definitely not going to say that it's any sort of historically accurate. There are definitely historical inconsistencies in it. But particularly with the costuming, they use it as a way to show how Diana's different. If you'll notice, whenever she's on her island in Themyscira, she has a different kind of uniform than everybody else. She's not quite a warrior yet, so she doesn't have armor like the rest of the group does. She is younger, so her outfit reflects that. She doesn't have the gold or the ornateness because she hasn't earned it yet. And so I think that's really cool. Whenever you look at even the way that they purposely put material and fabric on people and how it shows the importance of what they're doing or how they're doing it, I was actually quite impressed by that.
Also, the action scenes were very, very cool. They kind of did this thing where the action sequences go from fast to slow a lot, and it really was nice because it kind of guided your eyes on what you were supposed to be looking at, what was the interesting part of the movie. The Amazons fight like crazy cool toy people who just like can flippity flip flop all over the place, and I love it. All about it every single step of the way. I'm all for it every time. I'm like, yes, please do like a super duperty flippity flop flip and then like shoot through people with an arrow. I'm so into it. It's the best.
To me, I think that was great. It was like a acrobatic Legolas to me, like the arrow usage. Yes. And then just like crazy, and also with the fighting, because Wonder Woman has a shield, I was really, really concerned that her fighting style was going to be too similar to maybe Captain America or just the idea of how do you fight with a shield. And it's interesting because her shield of course doesn't bend physics, so it doesn't work as a boomerang frisbee. But the other thing is that she uses the shield differently because of how she was taught to fight, how and what a shield means to her and her background, her culture. And so her fighting style was very, very unique. And one of the things that you definitely see is that it changes slightly throughout the movie. And I thought that was such an interesting way to show growth and development in such a subtle way. I absolutely love it. I really like shields too anyways. Like that's a thing for me. So I really enjoyed that.
I thought the character conflict was really, really interesting. That was the best part of the movie to me. It's a good character story. It's the difference between the naive Diana as she's getting off of Themyscira, and then Steve Trevor. And they kind of changed Steve Trevor's origin a little bit from what I remember reading when I was growing up, where Steve Trevor was just like a captain in the U.S. Air Force. And he is kind of like a spy. Mm-hmm. And so you have the complete naivete of Diana, and then you have the like question everybody you see, don't trust anybody, kind of like
do what you have to
jaded
do.
worldview of a spy. Mm-hmm. And so like how they interact with each other and how they kind of bounce off each other was, I thought, made even better by that choice, and also it just was good. It worked really well.
Well, and that dichotomy of the fact that he is a spy, and that you lie all the time, and yet she has like the lasso of truth. And the role that truth plays in this movie in general was actually very purposeful. Mm-hmm. The people who used the word truth, the people who cared about truth, the way because the lasso of truth was also used for combat, and that was pretty sweet. In general, one of the things that I always complained about as a kid, particularly, I was like, why don't you just use the lasso of truth? Like, You have a lasso of truth. And this is done that way. And it's also done in a way where other characters recognize what the lasso of truth does and is. And so they take advantage of it too. And that is something I haven't seen a whole lot really anywhere. And I do keep up with Wonder Woman in particular more than most DC comics. And I thought that was really important in how they used the lasso of truth whenever the whole point is kind of it's a personal truth. Like, there's a lot of personal truths in this movie. So to have the lasso of truth be so prominent was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's Wonder Woman, so it's our first female-led superhero movie, and it just had an empowered woman fighting against norms, and you see that in how she's dressed, the weapon she's using. It's World War I, and she's using a sword and a shield and a lasso. It's completely different. And again, in how she interacts with Trevor, Steve Trevor, and how she wants to save, like, because she's naive, she wants to save, like, every single person she sees. Like, oh, this person's in trouble. We need to save them. And he's like, well, we kind of a spy. I go into that one spot and I sabotage stuff. We got to do that. And he's like, no, we got to save everybody. And so I thought that was really cool because it created again a lot of really interesting scenarios. And I think the best action sequence of the entire movie, and the best, like, emotional punch of the whole movie. I was like, oh yes, this is so good. I'm all into this.
Let's literally save everybody and their mother.
Exactly.
So, and that actually led into it leads into by far one of the best scenes in the movie, which is the No Man's Land scene. And Tony and I have already talked about this, like, by ourselves. Since we're not just, like, hopping into the parking lot and saying some stuff on camera, we actually got to talk about our feelings about the movie first, which was weird because we never do that. We always just info dump on you guys. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. But one of the best scenes was No Man's Land, and he really hits that word man very hard. It's no man's land.
No man's land.
Man. Like, man's land. Like, it's guttural for him. He's like, no man! And, then they talk about how, because no man can even get in there. They'll shoot any man that comes up. There's machine guns waiting for every man that, pops their head out, kind of a thing.
Every machine gun is manned by a man.
It's a man-made machine gun manned by a man.
Everyone's eating manwiches.
I don't know why that was so funny for me. Sorry. Oh, goodness.
Because it's like 3 in the morning. We finally got this work.
So late. So, one of the things, though, is instead of going, like, the Siren route, or even, like, what other movie did that?
Well, it's kind of just a trope. Lord of the Rings did it.
Yeah, and they're not, like, she's not like, well, I'm not a man. She's just like, yeah, but I have to do something, so peace. Like, it's not about...
This is what I came here for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Bye.
Like, it has nothing to do, for her, it has nothing to do with the fact that she is or isn't a man, or that he is or isn't a man. It's just, I am a soldier, I am a warrior, I need to go help and protect these people, and the way that I do that is by going and kicking butt. Like, it's not about if I'm a man or not. It's not about if this is, I came to this war to do this thing, and that's what I am going to do. And so
it's not like overtly about women empowerment, like just to empower women, but rather it's not because she is a woman, but it's just because of the person that she is. And I think that's even more powerful than saying because she's a woman. Like, it's just like it's so unremarkable that they just don't remark on it. It's just, this is what I'm here for. This is what I believe in doing, and I'm going to do it because that's who I am. And that's the important part of it. Not, I'm a woman, not a man. And so it's, instead of, I feel like, a lot of times when you do that, you kind of, you break down one group, just builds that group up. Which I think is
it's a value. It's a value and principle to her because that is what it is. It's not a value or a principle to her because she's a woman.
Yeah, it's not like she has to show off and be better. She just, this is who she is.
Sorry, everybody, my work popped up for a second there. So yeah, it is important to talk about for sure that it is not damaging to the other sex, which is so easy to do to make a point. So that was pretty impressive.
You want to jump into cons?
No, you're missing your reverse Star-Lord.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I called this the reverse Star-Lord. She discovers her powers and all the things she can do. Here's my theory. Star-Lord is a human, right? But he doesn't know what humans can do. He was trained by Yondu. And so he's just like, I'll do what aliens do. I just fly around and I shoot these choo-poo-poos. And then I can take a few hits and I don't care. Whatever. I don't get tired. I'm just like everyone else. But she's the reverse of that. So because of that, Star-Lord is a little more powerful, I think, than normal humans because he doesn't know or can, break their backs or something. I don't know. He just seems more resilient.
He doesn't know how to gauge it. He doesn't know his limitations.
She's the reverse of that. She's kind of coddled and she doesn't know what her powers are. And so they get revealed, she just has to kind of step up to the plate. And, she gets put into these situations where she's like, she just does it. Because she has the power, she just doesn't know that she does have that power. Which I think is kind of a good reminder to all of us that we are stronger than we know we are.
Aww.
I know, right? Isn't that nice?
Lastly, the music. I was impressed. I started getting a little bit of an inkling that the music for this was going to be pretty decent back in BVS. Because whenever she came up, she had a theme. Right off the bat, which I was not expecting because considering how bad Batman vs. Superman was, I didn't think they were going to have enough forethought to theme her. It was, y'all, okay? Come on. We deserve better. We do. So
we got mostly better here.
We did. We got significantly better. This one was tolerable. I wasn't mad whenever I left the theater necessarily. I mean, I was, but I wasn't, but we'll get to the cons in a second. But the music in particular I thought was very good, except cons?
Oh man, y'all ready for this? Oh, it's gonna be bad. Oh boy.
Okay. The music was great except for Chris Pine's. Chris Pine's theme was generic. It actually reminded me of Star Wars track. Whoa!
Man,
I almost made.
It's too late.
I am making faux pas left and right now. I'm not where's my nerd shame scarf over here cover? Woo!
That's what happens at 3 a.m.
So dang. No, but it did very much sound very similar to his Star Trek theme. And I actually thought for a moment, I was like, who did the music? Is it the same guy? Because, I understand, Chris Pine, All-American Boy, I get it. But, to have such a similar theme to me, I was like, it's gotta be the same person. Or do we just see this man and all think the same music? Could be either one.
Maybe. Man, I don't know if y'all are ready for these cons. They're bad.
Well, let's
The movie was so good, and then basically it's the ending.
No, hold on.
It's the ending, guys.
Hold on. Let's not get there yet. Let's go through all the shallow cons.
Alright, go for it. I'm just gonna be down here.
You're just gonna be over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I guess I have to take over for a little while. Some of the CGI is bad. And I don't know that it's bad, rather it's just we are so accustomed now to what Marvel can do that, especially for this movie, for how long it was in development, and the fact that Batman vs. Superman didn't look that bad, I was surprised that some of the CGI wasn't better. You notice it, I feel a lot during certain combat scenes. There's also some, hard blue screening towards the end that we're not gonna get to quite yet. In general, I am just surprised that the movie didn't look better, which is gonna lead me into the next one. I'm sorry that Tony's hiding, y'all. You're gonna have to see my face for a little while. The scenery was bland. It was unmemorable. With the exception of the actual, like, Paradise Island, everything was generic land. I understand it was during, you know, the war to end all wars and all that. And, of course, what are you going to show on a battlefield? But there was nothing. Even, like, London, where she's like, oh, it's ugly. But you don't see any of that. Like, there's not anything that's particularly descriptive or particularly London-esque about it. I feel like it was very, very generic. They go into a village, and it could be a village in Europe land. You have no idea. It's somewhere. You have no idea. And that kind of went with the people, too. Like, the people she's saving, with the exception of that they speak a different language, there's no reason why you would know anything about them or where they're from or anything. It's just bland. Poor Tony. I also really dislike how they just didn't talk about her outfit at all. They didn't talk about where she got it, how she got it, what's it mean, why it's that shape, color, size, nothing. They don't talk anything about her outfit. I was really disappointed. And I'm sure people will say, well, wait till the extended director's cut. No, if you can't get it right in theater, just stop, okay?
Because it has important significance. It's not just a cool costume.
It depends. Yeah, and it depends on which story of Wonder Woman you are reading. The one where he's not a spy, he actually does have an American flag on his uniform. Steve has an American flag on his uniform, and they create the outfit so that she's an ambassador for that culture, basically. And that's probably one of the more popular ones. It was also in the animated film from 2009, so a lot of people recognize that. It just, their armor has such significance, and like they put so much significance in the tiara that I was really mad that they didn't put any significance in her armor. All right. I'll say the last thing so that it can roll into yours. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Theming. They did a great job until the end. Go, Tony.
Oh my god, the ending is so bad. So bad. It's really bad, guys. Especially, it's like, okay, they Boondock Saints it.
A lot of people like Boondock Saints. Watch yourself.
They're wrong. I'm sorry. They are wrong. They're lying to themselves. Boondock Saints is a great movie, guys. Until the last 10 minutes. The same thing with Wonder Woman.
Last 7 minutes.
Yeah, just like when Blue Lightning shows up, just walk out of the theater. You got a 10 movie. It's a great movie. And then it just... Oh my gosh. Okay, so...
Don't spoil it. Be very careful.
The ending has an extremely muddled message. So the entire movie is very much about, like, again, we're talking about the character conflict between the naivete and the kind of the world weary Trevor. I'm sorry, is that his name anymore? I can't even remember.
Steve Trevor is his name.
Chris Pine. Chris Pine. And so you're like, okay, seems like it's going towards a satisfying conclusion where, you know, she learned something and he learned something, and then I guess, but then like, and then it's just like love. You're like, I'm sorry, when have we ever said that word?
You can't say anything else. You can't say anything else. You're gonna get too close. You're flying too close to the sun, Icarus. You gotta stop.
Guys, the ending's really bad. Okay, so the final action scene feels a lot like Batman vs Superman, and there's just like, it's on a blue screen.
Wait, what is it that you do? That's the ending. I can't blow raspberries, have lipstick on.
This is like, it's a blue screen and there's fire everywhere, and it's just like destruction, and then pew pew pew, blue blue blue, and there's like blue lights and red. It's not interesting at all. It just doesn't look like anything. the bad guy. So like again, there's like an ambiguity. Like is Wonder Woman correct in her naivete, or is Chris Pine correct in his world weariness? But then guess what? The bad guy comes out of nowhere and just explains it. And he says it's this one thing, but then at the end, it's not that one thing. What is it, DC? What's the actual plan? What is it? Because he says, I don't do this. And then when she defeats him, guess what? He was doing that? Was he? There's no explanation to it. And then can she fly? Can we talk about...
Wait.
Can she fly?
Wait, slow down. First off,
know. DC,
slow down. Slow down. You're getting so sassy that Google Hangouts can't keep up with you.
DC, can she fly?
Okay, so
No.
wait, stop. First off, slow down. You poor broken man. The end is super Batman versus Superman in the worst way possible.
It's hard to talk about it without spoiling it.
Yeah, and that's part of it. Like you have to be very careful. There are some words that are exchanged between the protagonists that are complete baloney. Thanks. I'm gonna have every pop-up. Everyone's gonna know everything about my life. There are some things that are just complete baloney. And
it doesn't fit the theme of the entire movie.
The entire movie.
And like it just like, here's some new stuff. Why not?
And as far as her flying, technically the only reason why they were able to make her fly in the comics was because everyone hated the transparent jet, the invisible jet that wasn't invisible, was just invisible around her, so she was just squatting while flying. It's dumb. So they got rid of it. So I don't think she can technically fly, or maybe she can't fly yet. I mean, honestly, we're making her cooler than Superman because all the Superman movies currently suck, so I think they're trying to tone it down. All right, the fast questions. I'm gonna put the camera on Tony so we can see how well he's doing over there. Poor babe. Origins, yes or no?
I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's good. It's right, I guess.
No. I mean, so
it seems right. I don't know.
Well, I say no, personally, because they're going for, like, the, if you read the comic Rebirth, they're going for the, like, catch-all origin stories so that, like, don't offend any one particular person, I guess. I don't know. I personally wish that they had stuck to one origin and just hit it hard and fast, because I think that would have been more interesting. Because
I think for a movie adaptation, it works very well.
I definitely think it works okay. I just have feelings. And because the device that it creates in the very end of the movie, to me, it takes away. So I wish the origins were a little bit different, but I don't think it's bad. Music design, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. I think music and sound design was pretty good. With the exception of Chris Pine, I thought it was a little boring. Altogether, I think it was pretty decent.
I will say not just the music, but like the sound of like when things break. I think they did a good job of things breaking.
The arrows actually was one of my favorite sound effects. With the releasing and the making contact of arrows, I thought was great. All right. Love. Yes or no?
Love, guys. I'm gonna say.
Are you with me on this one this time?
If you took the first 90% of the movie and were like, love, I'd be like, I'm 100% okay with it. And then like it takes a hard left at Crazyville, and I'm not into it anymore. I can't. No, the love does not work in this movie. It does.
It did.
And then they blow it.
It did, and then they blew it hard.
And then they blow it.
There are sex workers who blew less hard and earned better money than this ending for love. I'll tell you that.
And there we go. I think that's the 3 a.m. Sophia talking. That's cool.
And the love is so It was so okay. Like, I was willing to tolerate it, and then I just everything that I hate about love and superhero movies, they did. Eventually.
I will say though, if Gal Gadot loved me, I'd be okay with it.
She's perfect in this movie.
She gives Chris Pine this look, and I was like, whoo, I'm married. I can't. I'm sorry. Like these eyes, I'm like, oh. Good thing my wife's not here because that's steamy.
All right, do the pros outweigh the cons?
I'm trying to do it. I can't.
No, you can't. That's not.
I'm gonna pass out.
That's not it. That's not it. Okay. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Let these poor people go to sleep.
This movie is really good. I feel like I ragged on it a lot. It's very good. Okay, you should go see this movie.
We haven't gotten to that question
it's just
yet.
Like, oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. I want it to be out there. I think it's a great movie. I like it.
The pros outweigh the cons, but the cons are so bad it doesn't ruin it, but it's a near miss, and it hurts. It hurts because it was so close to being good. So close to being great. Do they outweigh them enough to go see it in theater?
I'm getting something from the studio. So they say yes, you should see it in theaters.
What do you
There's a little visual gag here. Yeah, it was. I think you should see it in theaters, unless the theater doesn't have like the AC on for the last hour, like mine. I don't know what that was about.
Yes, I definitely think.
But you should see it in theaters soon because I mean, more people are gonna. I think people are coming out to see it more. At least in my theater, people were like, it was pretty packed.
Yeah, mine was
it's nice
too.
to see. It's nice to see movies with lots of people.
Especially where we live.
Mm-hmm. No Man's Land.
So, enough to see it twice?
I want to see it again. I'm very excited to see it again. I'm also very excited to press stop 10 minutes before the end.
I mean, there's no
move on with my life.
There's no post-credit scene, so we can just as soon as the lightning comes, we're like, "Wow, that was a great movie," and just head out and confuse everyone. But I do want to see it again. I think it will be better the second time because it won't be so jarring, so I can look at it a little bit more critically. But I'm not sure. Now, here's something different. Do you think it's a good movie to see in 3D?
No.
I'd barf. There's too many flippy floppies. It's just not for me, I guess.
I prefer crisp, clear 2D.
I prefer crisp, clear Chris Pine.
Oh, that's for sure.
Guys,
I know we ragged on this movie a lot. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's very good, and it's our first female superhero movie. It's good.
Yeah.
And I really like it, and I just feel so bad that the ending was so bad. Guys, you see, Jeff Johns, why? Why Jeff Johns? Why did you have to make the ending bad? I hold you personally responsible for this, Jeff Johns. Then second
personally
command,
responsible.
John from Mars.
John. And also Jimmy Johns. Why didn't you deliver? No.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie. And if you're any sort of fan of Wonder Woman, I definitely suggest you go see it. It's not a bad adaptation. It was so close to being perfect. It's so close to being wonderful. And it's particularly difficult because, again, I hate to compare Marvel and DC, but unfortunately they're two sides of the same coin in a lot of respects. Marvel is just nailing it over and over and over again, and DC somehow, somewhere isn't getting the message that they need to step up their game. I don't know why, I don't know how, but they're not getting it. And then I know this is an extension of the normal, quick questions, but this is something that is particularly frustrating for me. it has actually been said by by DC that they purposely didn't market this the way that they marketed other properties of theirs. They didn't release as many toys, and if you look around, you can see that. Other than the trailers, there wasn't like a whole lot of marketing for it. And there's some debate saying, oh, well, they knew that this was a better movie, so they didn't need to market the crap out of it like they did Batman vs. Superman because it sucked. But one of the things I said back whenever BVS came out was that you got to choose your team. And on Twitter in particular, if you put hashtag Batman, or hashtag Superman, the little icon came up. And I made the joke back then. I was like, where's Wonder Woman's icon? Because she's in the movie too. You know, part of the trifecta. And I got a lot of crap for that. She's not an important part of the movie. And she's getting her own movie. Aren't you happy? The irony of that is that right now, there is no Twitter campaign for Wonder Woman. At all. There's no marketing for it. So I think that the fact that this movie was so close to being great and wasn't there, the fact that this theater is way more packed than Batman vs. Superman was for us. I'm in Austin currently, and I had a hard time finding tickets. I had to actually go almost to the next town over in order to actually be able to see this movie. And I think that that is a really great sign of the fact that not necessarily just that there are women nerds out there, there are women female identifying comic book fans. I've been a nerd my whole life. I've been a woman my whole life. So they go hand in hand for me. But I didn't have the option for these things whenever I was younger. And now that we are going to be able to bring up younger women with the idea that like female superheroes are cool, I really hope that this is proof that it's stepped in the right direction of how all superheroes need to go. That entertainment in general and movies made about things that we love or things that we identify with have a little bit more care taken with them. And that maybe one day Wonder Woman will be just as marketable as Batman or Superman. I mean, not Superman. Superman's kind of like the epitome, but in general, that will just get better because this movie is actually good, and that's pretty impressive considering the faux pas that this particular studio has done so many times. How about this? Completely unrelated to love. I mean, there are questions that aren't answered. Yeah, no. You know, in fact, you know, my husband has some of them. Here, let me click over to him. Hold on. Go ahead, Tony. Ask what are your questions?
Jeff Johns, can Wonder Woman fly? I just want to know. Please just tell us. Can Wonder Woman fly? Tweet at us. Add us at Kamikaze Kiwi. I just need to know.
Tweet.
I mean, you can like.
Tweet.
You be like, just like, give me like a little hint, like this right now. I need to know. I really do. I'm like in the movie, it looks like she kind of can, but then maybe she can't. Mm-hmm. But then maybe she can again.
Okay. Well, hold on.
But then maybe
okay.
she can't.
So he
also, are you sure you're not John Johns from Mars?
So
are you sure you're not a Martian?
Wait, he said his hint for if she can fly or not. You can blow me like the end of this movie. Now that's just rude.